Mhm. Oh, let me have this. Mhm. Good morning, guys. I'm looking tired. And yeah, I'm looking tired, very tired. I don't know why I'm looking so tired. See what my daughter did. My oldest daughter came inside my car. She drank this and left it. This in my car. Let me go put it in the garbage can. Oh, there's one here. Good morning, good morning. Jumma Mubarak. Happy Friday and happy weekend. Because we're heading towards the weekend. So happy Friday, happy weekend. I don't know. I got so sad all of a sudden, sitting in the car watching this video on YouTube that anyway, I'm in the park right here. Like right now, I'm in the park. I just dropped my oldest son at school and my oldest daughter at the train station. So that's the train to New York to work. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly. It's sunny, but it's a little bit chilly this morning. So yeah, it's thank God in all ramification. Okay, we thank God in all things that's happens in life. We thank God in everything. We just say Alhamdulillah. Okay, it's 9:03 now, so I'm gonna be here till like maybe 10, and then 14. So, yeah, it's been a while. Like maybe 2 days. I didn't come to the park. I did not come to the park in 2 days now. Not I don't know. I wasn't having it. But today I just decided to come to the park to take a walk at least. Take like maybe an hour walk. But it's been a while and I need it. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm so tired. How's everyone doing? Good morning, everyone. How are you? How is your day going? Hope everyone is going. Everybody's day is going on well. It's Friday morning. Okay. And as a Muslim, it's our Jumma. Like the Christians go to church on Sundays, Muslims too. This is our Friday. We go to Jumma. We go to pray. So I don't want to be close to where this big dog is. So I'm coming this way because I see him coming towards me with a dog. Hi, Sangalari. How are you? Welcome. Welcome, Sangalari. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm taking a walk. You know, I don't know if you know that I come here every morning because it's beautiful. The sun comes out like this, and then I come to get my vitamin D. If you don't want to get stuck in the house all day, you know, being in the bed, lazy, doing nothing. So I just come here and just take a walk. That is what I do. Hi, Mr. Natab, please subscribe. He said, please subscribe. You heard that. Welcome. Where are you watching me from? Jumma Mubarak to everyone. Okay, guys. Look at the suns. Ah, look behind me. You see that? Ah, it's beautiful. And I'm really loving it. Look at this. I don't understand the language, Mr. Metab. I don't understand. You see, this is the environment I am in here. You guys see that? This park is huge. It's very big. Look behind me. That's a huge park. Good morning. Yeah, I need to walk. I need that walk. Because yesterday I ate and ate and ate and ate till I dropped. I don't know for some reason. I stopped eating too much. And then I was just eating and eating and eating. I'm like, my stomach, oh, my stomach. It was so full. But alhamdulillah, I thank God. Walking in the grass now, I know my nose is going to start itching. I'm so sad. I don't know. For some reason, I'm sad because of the video that I just watched before coming on live. That is the very sad story. I cried. Look at me holding the tissue. I was crying because God is good. You know, God is good. We have to, I always say this, we have to learn how to thank God and appreciate God. I'm telling you. It's not, I don't know how to put this back. Hey. Hmm. I just don't know how to narrate this. I was watching a video on YouTube and two couples, it's two couples that was telling the story. Well, it's a couple that was telling a story. And that story was so sad that I know hers was even worse. It was worse than mine. I was there, but hers was worse. Okay, she had, she said she had two miscarriages, even though I had four. She had two miscarriages. And the second one is not a miscarriage. It was a stillbirth, and the baby did not survive it. And at 23 weeks, they have to take the baby out. Okay, mine was 24 weeks. But thank God, we thank God, we thank God, we thank God for everything. My baby survived it. 23 weeks. Her baby survived it, but later died. And then she ended up getting an infection that lead her to ICU with life support, not even one life support, double. God, oh, women, we are going through so much. Women are going through so much. I'm telling you guys, like women are going through a lot, a lot. You know, look at her. She had a miscarriage the first time at 13 weeks, and then the second time she lost the baby after the baby was born. All for what? For a man, right? Even though she also loved kids, she wanted kids and all that, but she would do all these things just to make that man happy because she knows men love kids, right? So yeah, that's what happened. She ended up in an intensive care and she was fighting with her life. Okay. She said she was fighting with her life and what she see and what she heard and what she went through when she was in ICU. Oh my God. May God keep us alive to see our children's children. Okay? That is our prayers. May God keep us alive to see our children's children. Because sometimes you see a woman, she'll get married, especially in our African community. That one is African community. You can see it in anywhere. African community is the most people that do that. A woman will get married in a month, they will start coming to her house, the in-laws, trying to see if she's pregnant, if she has started spitting, if she has started throwing up. mm, If all these symptoms for pregnancy, she has it or not. When they come to visit, the moment they see her saying, "Oh, my head hurts," "Oh, yeah, did you check? Did you go to the hospital? Did you do this? Did you do that?" You know, she told you she's pregnant. She didn't. She told you her head hurts. That's it. Why are you making it up? Why are you concluding it that she's pregnant? Just because you're trying to torment. This is to me, it's sickening. God gives and God takes. God can give you. Like she got it and God took it away from her. And he took it for a good reason. Because you never know what God has for her ahead. You never know. Or she never know. And thank God she's a very good, spiritual person. Otherwise, if it's other people that they are not a good spiritual people, her and her husband are very good spiritual people. Other people that are not will be thinking that somebody did it to them. Somebody did this to me. Somebody did that to me. When God gave you and He took it with a good reason. So, you see, I'm just always saying this. We should learn how to appreciate whatever we have in, you know, within us. You will see some people have kids, and those who doesn't have kids will be looking at them and say, "Oh, I wish I'm the one that." Be careful with what you wish for. Kids are blessings. They are gifts from God. But let God give it to you at His own time. Do not rush it. You know? I understand that we women, our body, when we get to certain age, there's no, they said when you get to certain age, it's hard to have babies. You can't have babies or so and so. And if God said you will be at the age of 50 and you will still have babies and you will still look healthy, You will. You will. A lot of women are going through a lot. A lot. Somebody will go into a marriage with maybe 120 pounds, and after having kids, she because the man saw her, right? He saw her as she's looking sexy, she's looking beautiful with all this cute body, and he decided to what, to propose and marry her. She accepted him because of love, right? And because of the same love that she has for him, she what? Also get pregnant for him and have that baby for him to make him what? A father. But what? After having that baby, maybe or maybe through her pregnancy, that's yeah, her body will start changing, right? That's true. Her body will start changing, and if her body start changing, that is when the man will start complaining. Oh, what happened to you? Why is your face like this? Why is your mouth so big? Why is your nose getting big? Oh my goodness! Even if you start spitting, because everybody and the way they experience their pregnancy, some spit and throw up at the same time. Some don't throw up; they just spit. So if they're spitting, their husband can say, "Oh, ew, that's nasty. Go to the bathroom. Don't spit in the cup. Do not spit in the container." Eh? And some women too, when they are pregnant, they don't like to brush their teeth because the moment they put the brush on their tongue, they will throw up unless maybe they finish eating. After eating, they wait for a while and brush their teeth. So the men will complain. After having that baby, she will still look different to you. Of course, she's not going to look the same. Her body will change, either looking big or shapeless. Then you start looking at somebody else just because she has changed. When you saw her, was she like that? No. When you met her, she wasn't like that. She was looking like the same person that you are looking now outside. And then you get her pregnant, and now you want to ignore it because, oh, God, women, we are going through breastfeeding alone is not an easy thing. After having the baby, some of us will go to the theater, will not make it, will come out, we will not make it. Some of us will go and make it. Some of us will go thinking that they're going to have it natural way. Even the natural way is not that easy. But they will end up having C-section. Either the baby's head is up and the leg is down, or the baby is a breech. At what they call it, a breech, something, something. Yeah. So they will end up having a C-section. And any woman that has C-section, you are a hero. A hero, a woman that has C-section, or even the natural birth, also is not an easy because I had both. I had the C-section and I had the natural. I had three natural babies and one C-section baby. So my last one was born with C-section, and he was the one that was born 24 weeks. So when I saw the lady's video, I was crying because I know whatever she's going through. I know whatever. Like I stayed in the hospital. I don't know how long she stayed in the hospital because she didn't say, but she said she stayed in the NICU for like, she stayed in the ICU for like, she said she stayed in the ICU for like, I think, um, a week or so. Yeah, I think a week. You know, I thank God. I did not stay in the ICU. We thank God, thank God, thank God. God forbid. I don't wish anything like this to anybody, anybody. Yeah, I stayed there for like a month, also with my life, trying to see how I'm gonna get better and come home because I have other three babies too back home at home. So it wasn't that easy for me and my husband. It wasn't that easy. We went through so much. He wasn't the one that did all the work, but he did the work. He did the work. You understand? He did. And I appreciate him. I do appreciate him because it's not every man that do that have the heart to do that. So I do appreciate him for being there for me and my babies. You understand? I do appreciate him. It wasn't an easy task at all, at all, at all, at all. I'm telling you guys, it wasn't. So she was in the hospital because, she was sick. And I know what she's going through. I know what she's going through. Like I said, I've been there. That is why when she started telling her stories, I said, oh my God, this woman, like, I can feel your pain. I cried before I had my last child. And the thing is, when you have miscarriage, they want you to rest your body 2 years, I think, before you can even try again and conceive. And we women, because we want to have it so quick so that we won't look, how do you call it? We won't look like, how do you know? Like, we think, oh, we are getting older. So let's have it so quick. And then, wash our hands. That is what happened. And I didn't know. And the doctors were telling me, how long did you get the miscarriage? Like the miscarriage before you got pregnant with your last child? I was telling them. And then they were like, what? A month? Yes. Your body wasn't healed. It wasn't, it was still, your body was still, I don't know how to put it, was still going through that miscarriage process. Like, still, was still, oh, like, everything was just fresh. Of course, remember, even when you have, after having the babies, they tell you to wait 6 weeks before you can do anything. So a month after I had that miscarriage, I got pregnant with my last child. And it wasn't that easy for me at all, at all, at all. From day one. And even I remember that miscarriage too. Let me tell you a story about that miscarriage. When I had that miscarriage, I was pregnant with um I was pregnant. The pregnancy was around maybe 4.5. And I remember they were telling me, oh, every time I go, well, I went to the hospital. I was at work, and I used the bathroom, and I saw some brownish stuff. And I was like, oh, I came to talk to my coworker. I told her, and then she was like, oh, it's fine. It's nothing serious. She doesn't think it's anything because it happens, to most of pregnant women, especially when the pregnancy is, new. So I was like, you sure? She said, yeah. I said, no, I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you because you're not my nurse. And she was laughing because I always joke with her and all that. So after work, I waited till I got off from work. And that day I had to leave like around, I think around 3 o'clock. Yeah. So after I got off from work, I I went to the hospital, but the emergency room closed by my job before going home. Now when I got there, funny, when I got to the hospital, I told him, I said, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm so and so months pregnant. And so I saw this brownish things and when I was going to use the bathroom. And so I need to come and check and make sure that everything is okay. So they asked me if the baby, and I feel that the baby is moving. I said, I don't feel anything. But I know that sometimes the baby doesn't move for like a couple of days and then they start moving again. So, because that wasn't my first pregnancy. So I told him, I said, no, I don't feel anything. So they put me in the room. Hello, handsome boy, how are you? How are you, handsome boy? Where are you watching me from? I'm in the park, I'm taking a walk. It's beautiful out here. It's sunny. I'm getting my vitamin D here, so I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, so like I said, I'm telling a story about, how I lost my pregnancy or how I lost my baby. It's a pregnancy, I won't say baby. Where are you from? Why are you calling me baby? Do I look like a baby to you? Or am I your baby? Please. My throat is dry. Good morning. Yeah, sis. Better. Just say hello, sis. But you're calling me baby like I'm your baby. I'm somebody's baby. Oh. So when they checked me, the doctor, no, the nurse said, okay, that's how I'll come and check you. They came in, they didn't check me. They just said, oh, we're gonna take you to do ultrasound to make sure that everything is okay. So they took me to the ultrasound room. The lady was just there doing her thing. And then I was looking at her face and looking at the machine. And then all of a sudden I see that her face changed. She keep peeping and see if she can see what she's seeing, or if she can recognize whatever she's seeing. Ah, so so I said, okay, I'm just studying, looking at her, watching her and see what she's going to say. What she's going to say. And you know what happened? She looked at me and she asked me, how many weeks you said you are? I said, how many weeks? I said, I'm 4.5 months. And she was like, are you sure? I said, of course, I'm sure. I'm the one who came here with the pregnancy. I'm the one carrying the pregnancy, and I'm telling you, I'm 4.5 weeks, 4.5 months. And you telling me that I'm sure. I said, why did you ask that? She said, because your pregnancy doesn't look like you are 4.5 months. I said, I haven't seen my menses for like 4.5 now, almost 5 months now. So, and then since the day that I did the pregnancy test, I counted it and everything. Because this is not my first pregnancy. This is the third one. So I know. Ah, this lady keep looking and looking. He said, if you said 4.5 months, then that means the baby is not growing. I said, what do you mean by the baby is not growing? I feel like my stomach was big. So how come the baby is not growing? Not knowing I have a dead baby in my stomach. I didn't know. I'm from Ghana. I'm from Ghana, but I'm streaming from US. Not knowing the baby in my stomach was dead. So the baby stopped growing. That was crazy. I was so scared. And so they took me to my room. And then they said the doctor will come and see you. The doctor came there. He said, When we did the ultrasound, it looks like your baby is not growing. There's no heartbeat. There's this and that and that. I was like, well, hold on. Oh. What is going on? I was so scared. I was so scared. I was like, the baby is not growing. There's no heartbeat. Okay, so what do you want me to do now? And then they said you have to wait in this room. We're going to call the gynecologist in the emergency room so that they'll come and check you. They came. No, they left me in that room for a long hours, like a long time, not hours, but like I feel like it's more than an hour. I was sitting in that room waiting for them to come back and tell me something because I was not having it. I was not having it. Just want to know if everything is okay. What are they going to do? And that was the hospital that I usually go. I have the hospital that I usually go with my where my doctor works at. So I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you guys. I had an IV line on my hand. I looked and looked because I went to school for phlebotomy. So I know how to put IV line and I know how to remove it. So I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna sit here for them to take me to any theater or anywhere and start doing all these things for me and take my baby out while I know my baby is okay. I didn't want to believe that there's something wrong with the baby. Guys, if you don't know, I just couldn't take it. So I have to remove the IV line on my hand myself and put it in the hazard box because you can't put the needle in the garbage can, like the regular garbage can. There's a container, attached to the wall. It's a red container. That's where you put those needles. So I put it there and I put on my clothes. And I didn't see any doctor, I didn't see any nurse. They were sitting at their station, nurse's station, but they didn't recognize me. They did not even pay attention to me. So I just left. I left the hospital, took my car, boom, drove off. I drove off. I just to I went home. And on my way home, when I was driving from the hospital to my house, the one of the nurses that was taking care of me called. She called me and I answered the phone because when you go, you fill up you put your information, you fill up your information. So your phone number, they have it. So she called me, and then when she called me, she was like, Mom, this is nurse so and so in this hospital, so and so. I was like, okay. Even when before she would even say this hospital, I knew it was that hospital because on my caller ID on my phone is showing the the name of the hospital. So I knew it was them. So she called me and she was like, Mom, I came to your room. You were in there. Mario, good morning. How are you, Mario? Thank you so much for summing up. Thank you. So she called me. She was like, "Yeah, where are you? You need to come back." I said, "Come back to where? Come back to the hospital." I said, "No, I already left." I said, "Why do you want me to come back?" He said, "You need to come back because the doctor did not discharge you, and you can't leave if the doctor did not discharge you." And I said, "Well, I have discharged myself." That was what I said. I have discharged myself. I'm going home. Indeed. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. I said, well, I have discharged myself, so I'm on my way home. And she kept insisting that I have to come back. I said, your problem, madam. You want me to come back? And she said, yes, I want you to come back because if you still don't want us to see you or to take care of you, you still have to come back because you have the IV line in your hand. So you have to come back and remove it. And I said, the hell no. I said, I took it off and I put it in that container. She still don't believe me that I took it off. So that was so funny. She said, she still don't believe me. I said, what am I going home with the IV line for? I will not do that. What do I need the IV line for? I don't need it. So I took it off. It's in the container. Just go and look. She still insists. I said, listen, woman, I'm close to my house, and the hospital is not close to my house, and I'm not coming back. I'm not turning, you know? So I drove her. I told her, and then she was like, oh, if you're not coming, if you don't come back, you will have to send the police to your house. I said, okay, fine. You can send them to my house. Thank you. I said, it's okay. You can send them to my house. So I went home. I told my husband whatever happened. And he looked at me, he was like, so what did they say? I said, I told them that I'm not coming back. And they said they're going to send the police, which I don't care because I didn't steal anything. I didn't post anything that a police will come to my house. For what? Guys, I just went home, took a shower, prayed. Before I ate something. I said, let me just pray. I was praying. And then in between my prayers, a bell rang, my doorbell. While I was praying, yeah. While I was praying, my doorbell rang. And that was when my husband knew that it was the police because around that time, nobody comes to my house and look for us because it was late. So the police, my husband pressed the bell, the intercom, and started talking to them and asked them, who is this? And said, oh, it's me, so and so, officer, so and so. It's a police officer, so and so. I'm uh, I'm here to see so and so. Well, yeah, it's two of them. It was two of them. They were here to see me. And then my husband was like, okay, he's gonna open the door. Then I was done with prayer sitting there. So he opened the door for them. They came in. And then when I got up, my stomach was pointed, like you can see my stomach. And when I got up, he looked at me and looked at my kids, look at the environment in my room. I look at my husband and I'm like, why are they calling police for you? I said, I don't know. Did you ask them why they sent you here? Because I don't know. They said, and then the other police was saying, oh, because they said I had IV line on my hand, so they want to make sure that I'm okay. I said, I'm fine. Do I look like I'm not okay? I'm good. I'm perfect. And the IV line is not with me. Can you see? And he was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, so what else do you want to, like, what is next? He said, no problem. I'll just, we will just go and let them know that you don't have the IV line. We will let them know that you don't have the IV line on you. And then, you are okay. But you can still call them and let them know. I said, okay, sure, no problem. So after they left, I called them and I told them that this is what happened. The police were here and they already see what happened. They saw that there's no IV line on my hand, so I can go now. They can go now. The nurse was like, okay, no problem, fine. So she got the problem. And I think a day or two after, I was craving for this Haagen-Dazs ice cream. That rich ice cream. Okay, rich, creamy ice cream. Haagen-Dazs ice cream is the best ice cream. Oh. Me, I love that ice cream. So I was craving for it. I think I went to work, or it was on a weekend. I wasn't working that day. I think so. Hmm. So I went to the store and I got this medium size of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Normally, when I get it, I don't eat all. I just leave some or maybe share. So I bought it. I was like, today I'm not sharing. I'm going to eat this by myself. This is what I'm craving for. Me, when I'm craving for something, unless God did not permit me to get whatever I'm craving for. If God permits me to get it, I will eat it. That's me. So, and if I don't eat it, you will see me acting like somebody who is sick. And it's really bad. I need to stop. So what I did was I mm, mm, let me tell you guys, I was just in the bed, in my bedroom, laying on the bed, relaxed, watching TV and eating this ice cream. Like I was eating this ice cream like crazy. And then all of a sudden, I started feeling like a pressure. I said, oh, this pressure is just a pee. Let me go pee. I got up. No, sorry, I started feeling like a pressure. And I was like, what kind of pressure is this? This pressure was just like the pressure of pushing the baby. And the pressure of putting that baby out. Hey, my beautiful friend Kia, how are you? What is time there? Day or evening? Oh, it's hi Raj, welcome. It's morning. It's morning. It's 9:43 a.m. here. It's morning. Sit in one place. Oh, sit in one place. You always tell me to sit in one place. I'm taking a walk. I'm exercising. This is like a morning walk. This is how I get my exercise. Okay, Raj. So the pressure was just too much. It was just like a force pressure that I should just, I don't know how to do like a push thing, and then it's gonna come out. At first, I was thinking, oh, it's nothing. But the pressure began to be like too much. It was like too much for me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I was just laying on the bed and then I pushed. I feel like, how you passing gas or something like that. That was how I felt the pressure. I feel like I'm passing gas. So I pushed. I don't know how to say it, but like I just pushed like I'm passing gas. And then something came out. And thank God I was wearing the underwear. So I was just laying down and something came out and I was like, what is that? Oh, here is night, 7:30 p.m. night. Where are you doing? What are you doing, like job or studying? Huh. So yeah, when I pushed, let me sit down here a little bit. When I pushed, that was when I said, let me get up. I put the ice cream down. When I put the ice cream down, I went to the bathroom. I'm trying to remember what really happened that day. My kids were in the living room, my oldest daughter, my oldest son, and then my third. She was like 4 years. Yeah. My third child was like, I think 3, 4 years. I think she wasn't like 4 years. She was like 3 years and almost four. So then my oldest daughter was like, I think 13 years. And then I just walked in front of them, went to the bathroom. I was walking with my legs open like that, wide open, like walking like this. Somebody who pooped in their pants. So I was walking like this. So I went straight to the bathroom. Straight to the bathroom. And when I didn't even sit, I just looked, and when I removed my underwear, it was like a gush of blood, like that thing fell, and that scared me. You can see that is forming. Like it has already formed. It has already formed, but you can't really because it stopped growing, so you can't really see if it's human or blood or whatever that is. So I screamed and I called my daughter. I said, "Come, get me my phone." And she got me my phone and I took a picture of that. And I cleaned up, I put it in the toilet, I flashed it, I washed that place, I cleaned up and everything, put on pad. And went back to my room and laid down again, comfortable. I continue with my ice cream. It's like ice cream to continue. I was just eating the ice cream. And then I sent a picture of that to my husband. Then my husband worked at night. So I sent a picture to my husband. And my husband called me right away. He was like, "Did you go to, so where are you? Are you in the house?" I said, "Yeah, I'm home. I'm just laying on the bed." And he was like, "Why don't you call the ambulance?" I'm like, "Ambulance for what? I'm not in pain. It's just a blood and I'll be fine." I didn't know what is coming on my way. Oh. Hmm. This is like a comedy. It was a starting comedy for me. It's a warning. Hmm. I told him, I said, "I'm fine. I don't need to call the ambulance. I'll be okay. I'll be fine." I was like, "No, you need to call the ambulance." I said, "I'll be fine." So when he got off from work, it wasn't like overnight. So it was like he gets off at 12. And then when he get off from work, he came home around 1. I waited because I was scared to go to sleep. And he was like, "No, you need to get up. Let's go. Let's go to the emergency room. You're not gonna sleep in this house with this." I said, "Oh no, I'll be fine." He was like, "No, he insists." So I said, "Okay." I got dressed. He drove me to the emergency room. And then on our way to the emergency room, I started bleeding. Like heavy, heavy. It was so scary. And then when we got to the emergency room, I was screaming because my stomach was cramped. Like I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to explain it. It was the pain. I couldn't bear the pain. I was in so much pain. Like the pain was just unbearable. I started screaming. I was all the like I was bleeding everywhere. That was how I knew that I'm allergic to morphine because the pain was so much that they have to put morphine in my IV so that to, you know, ease the pain. And I was bleeding. My bed was full of blood. The nurse was she was cleaning me. And the doctor came and he was telling me to push because there's more that I need to push out. I keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing still. At the end, the nurse was even scared because she said, "Every time I change you, in a minute, I go out and get something and grab something. And then when I come back, it's like you are soaked in blood." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." And she was like, "Are you in pain?" I said, "Yeah." And they put like these tablets under my tongue. I was screaming. I was in pain. My legs were hurting. Everywhere was like the pain was just unbearable. So they tried every possible thing. They every possible that they can do like to help me. Okay. So that I would not go through that thing. But trust me, I did. So they said, "Oh, we will have to take you to the theater for DNC." I've never done that before. So they said we have to take you to the theater for DNC because it looks like you still have more in it. That's why you keep bleeding. And I was like, "I told this lady that I'm 4.5 months. You think I'm lying? 4.5 months? Are you kidding me?" And if it's like 2 months or 1 month, I won't be bleeding like this. So they did ultrasound and they realized that yes, I was, you know, almost 5 months. I was like, "Really good, help me." So they had to take me upstairs, give me a room, and then early in the morning, they were monitoring me, and then they came back. They tried to see if they can do anything for me to, you know, push again and see if the baby, the rest of the parts will come out. They did whatever they can do. Still, I was just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and they got scared. And then I started getting tired. And then they said, "Oh no, we will have to take you to the theater and do this DNC thing." So they called this lady. She came and rolled me out, and she was so nice. I remember her. She was so nice to me. She came and she rolled me out from the room, and then she kept telling me, "I you look like you are nervous. You're scared." I said, "Yes, I'm scared. I've never been to um a theater before. Like, this is my first time. I've never done this before. I don't know how painful it's going to be. I don't know how the outcome is going to be." I was just talking. I was just laying there. She was like, "Oh, please, don't worry. You're gonna be fine." She made me feel comfortable. She said, "Don't worry. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. It's just gonna be taking a couple of minutes. Da, 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 da. By the time you realize, you'll be done. And don't worry, they're not gonna leave you. They'll put you to sleep, so you won't see anything. You're not gonna feel any pain." I said, "Okay, no problem." They took me. She wheeled me to the room on my bed. I was on the bed. I wasn't in the wheelchair. I was on the bed. So she pushed me to the room, and then what I can remember was the doctor was asking me, "Are you in pain?" And by the time I said, "Yeah," yeah, I was gone. I was gone. I was sleeping. I slept like a baby. That sleep was so good. I slept like a baby. You know how you tired, you really, really tired. You just want to go to sleep, and then you will fall asleep and start snoring. I went to sleep without even knowing that I was sleeping. Not knowing they put this medicine in the IV that the doctor was talking to me. By the time I think she did before she started talking to me. She did before she started talking to me. Because I saw them putting the medicine in the IV. And then when she came to me, she was like, um, "Are you okay? Are you in pain?" And then before I would answer her, I was gone. I went to sleep. And then by the time I realized I was awake, they came and started tapping me. They were like, "Wake up, wake up." I opened my eyes. I was like, "Wake up." Because I was in the recovery room. And then I was like, "Wake up." I said, I knew I was in the theater. How did I get here?" The nurses were laughing. So yeah, when I opened my eyes, my husband was sitting there by my bedside. And he was like, you were sleeping for like hours. I was sitting here. I said, "Sleeping?" I said, "I know I was sleeping in the theater. I came out while I was sleeping." He said, "Yeah." He said, when they wheel you out, I was sitting there, and when they brought you out, you were still sleeping." He said, "You slept for more than 2 hours." I said, "Gosh." He said, "You were sleeping and you were snoring." I said, "Thank God I was snoring because I was really tired." That's pain. That's what I went through. Like, it's not a small thing. Come on. So yeah, they kept me, there for a while, and then they said, "You are discharged. You can go home now." And then I went home. And then when I went home, instead of me to let my body heal, like, feel good, feel better, feel me again. Let my body recognize me. I didn't. I went back for another baby because I'm like, oh, I'm hitting that age that I don't want to have babies. So after a month, I realized I was pregnant. I think a month or 6 weeks. I realized I was pregnant again. Hey, hmm. This time, this pregnant gave me shaggy. This pregnant showed me shaggy. But thank God. I thank God for everything. I thank God for everything. All the pain that I went through, all the struggles, I thank God for that. Like, I thank God for everything. I keep saying I thank God. You guys don't understand. I thank him because he gave me that, and he is he is the one that also healed me and healed my time. Like, if I tell people that my son was born 24 months, 24 weeks, they don't believe it. He was born 6 months. People look at him and say, "You kidding me?" I said, "Yeah, it's all God. It's all God." I thank God, and I still thank him all the time. I'm gonna thank him every day. And I keep praying that whoever is going through the same, God will touch them and heal them and make them feel better once again because He has done it for me and He will do it for you. Inshallah. There's no doubt. I got pregnant with my son. 5.5 months, I traveled to Saudi Arabia with my husband and my family. Came back. I traveled. I came back in April 2018. May 2018, they have to take my child out because the pressure was too much. It was just going higher and higher. I didn't even know that I had that. Like I was fine. It was just that my feet was swollen. And I was telling myself, I said, it's normal for pregnant women, to get swollen feet. So it's normal. To me, that is what I thought. Because with my third child, after I had her, my feet was swollen. So I was thinking it was normal. It wasn't normal. It wasn't. So if you're pregnant and you have this swollen feet, and you keep thinking that it's normal, staying home, trust me, you better go to the hospital. You better go and see your doctor. Let them do some, let them run some tests because it could be you have a high protein in your urine, and that was what I had. My protein in my urine was high. My pressure was high. I didn't even know. I was just walking, and that day that they find out that this all these things is I had all these things, then I had an appointment. I just had a normal appointment that I have to go and see my doctor for, normal checkup. So that morning, I remember my husband was taking the kids to school. And then when he went outside, he came back in the room and I was like, wait, you forgot something? He said, no, I haven't forgotten anything. I'm here to remind you. You need to go and move your car. Otherwise, they'll come and tow it or they will give you a ticket. I said, why? He said, because they're sleeping on that street that you parked your car. And I was like, really? I cannot even go outside or walk to that door. So if they want to give me ticket, they can give me tickets for all I care. I'm tired. So he felt like, because I've never talked like that or I've never say anything like that before. And he was like, he was thinking that there's something wrong that I can't move my leg or what. So yeah, he came back and he took my car keys and he went and moved the car before I drop in the kids. So he said, give me the keys. I'll go and move the car and then drop the keys. So he did that and then came back. No. And then he came back to me. He said, what time is your appointment? It's like God is talking to him. Trust me. He said, what time is your appointment? I said, 9. He said, okay, I'm going to go drop the kids to school because the kids, all of them by 8, he will be dropping them by 8. So he came and he said, I'm going to go drop them and then go with you to the hospital. And I was like, wait, go with me to the hospital because he has never even, tell me, oh, I'm going to go with you to your appointment. So I was shocked. I was surprised, like, why is he going with me to the appointment? I go by myself. Okay, no problem. I said, okay. After he left, for me to walk from my room to the bathroom, it's hard. It was hard for me. I didn't know how I did it. By the time I realized I was in the bathroom, I went and took a shower. I didn't know how I did it. I came out. It's all God. Trust me. It's all God. Because I can't even remember how I walked to that bathroom. Came out, got dressed. By the time my husband came, I was already dressed. I was sitting on the bed, the edge of the bed. And I put my scarf on like this. Then my hair, oh my God. You don't want to know. Like I have natural hair and my hair is so stubborn, like very thick, like 4C hair. Okay. And it's a lot. Like my hair is all the way here. Like it's long. So I took it out and I don't know how I'm going to braid this hair. So I think I hold a ponytail. Yeah, I had a ponytail and it was like puffy. Like, hey God. So I just have to put the scarf on. My head was so big. I was just walking myself. I was blown out. Like I was big. I was 200 and something pounds. Somewhere from 150 pounds to 200 and something pounds. All fluid. guys. All fluid, but it's good. It's all good. God did it, and He did it for me, and He will do the same thing for whoever is going through. I don't wish anybody to go through that. I don't. Trust me. I I went to the hospital. My husband and I went. He drove. So when we got to the hospital, he dropped me by the door, and he went and find a parking. And so I was walking. By the time even I walk upstairs, he already parked the car, and he was already behind me because I was walking slowly, dragging my feet. Okay, thank God there was an elevator. So I took the elevator up. We went upstairs. When we went upstairs, we sat we I registered, and then we sat at the waiting room. There was a lot of people. So we're sitting at the waiting room. Guys. We're sitting at the waiting room. Then they call my name. When they called my name, I told my husband, "Do you want to go?" My husband was so tired from coming back from work. So he was really tired. He didn't sleep that much. And then I told him, I said, "Do you want to go with me?" He was like, "No, I'm going to sit here and just, close my eyes until you are done with the doctor. So you can go ahead." I said, "Okay." From that, where I was sitting to the door where the nurse was standing, because she opened the door, she was waiting for me to come in. I was dragging my feet. My thigh was eating each other. My leg was so heavy, like I was carrying a bag of rice or a bag of gari. My leg was so heavy, I couldn't move. I was just dragging and dragging. She was looking at me. She was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm not okay. Oh." No, before I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But I feel like I'm not okay because I'm tired. And she was like, "Okay." So she walked me in. I sat on the chair, and then she started taking my vital signs. So the one that she was doing, she would check your temperature, and then she would check your blood pressure. So and then she would check your urine level, like how do you call the protein level in your urine. Because before you enter in that room, you have to pee in a container. They will give you a container, and you have to pee in that container, and then you will take it to the nurse, and then she will put the strips in your urine, and then she will look at the protein level and tell you. So when she looked at it, my protein level was really high. And she got scared and she looked at me and she checked my pressure. My pressure was high. And she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I told you I'm tired." She said, "Are you dizzy?" That's what I'm trying to ask you. "Are you dizzy?" I said, "No, I'm not dizzy. I'm feeling tired. It's all this pregnancy thing." And then she was like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Why are you asking me all these questions and telling me if I'm sure?" She said, "Because your pressure is high." She looked at me, it was like 180 over 100. No, 185 over 100. And so she got scared. She touched me if I'm okay. I said, "I'm fine. I'm not dizzy. I'm fine. I walked from my seat to the door. So I'm good." And then she said, "No, this is not normal." And she stopped scaring me. She was like, "Let me check again." She checked again, it went higher. And so she didn't check again. She put me in another room and she called the doctor. The doctor came in immediately. She told the doctor. The doctor came in, the doctor checked me again. It was even higher than the one that the nurse checked. The two, the two ones that the nurse checked. The other two. So it was really high. The doctor looked at me. She was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." She said, "The way your pressure is high, some people in your condition like this, they get Caesar. See, is it Caesar? And some of them too faint." And I said, "Really? So what is the next thing to do?" I don't know because me, I'm just sitting here looking at them like. She said, "Did you came alone?" I said, "No, my husband is here with me." "Why is he?" I said, "He's sitting in the waiting room." So she went out. No, she told the nurse to call my husband. She said, "What's his name?" I said, "Just say Abdullah, Mr. Abdullah, or just say Ahmed." And she called his name. She screamed. She opened the door. She screamed his name. He was sleeping. So he jumped. He looked. He was like, "Why are they calling him?" And then she said, You should come here." He got scared, he said. He said he got so scared when they called his name. Something, I don't know. He said he got really scared because he was thinking, "What happened? Did I just had a baby? That's why they're calling him, is the baby here or whatever?" Because he knew that it wasn't time for me to have the baby yet. But why are they calling? Why are they screaming his name? So he stood up and went and came to the room. And he saw me sitting there looking at him smiling. And he was like, "Is everything okay?" I said, "Well, they tell my pressure is high." And the doctor came in trying to explain things to him. My pressure is high. So they'll have to take me upstairs to the labor and delivery. And then I might have baby today, or they will try and monitor me and see if they can bring the blood pressure down, if they can bring it down, like low. And he was like, okay, they should do whatever they can do, to keep us alive. So they brought the wheelchair. They didn't let me walk upstairs. So they brought a wheelchair and they wheeled me to, to the labor and delivery ward. And they put me in a room, monitor me, they keep monitoring me. I remember it was a Monday morning. They monitor me from that Monday, and it was Ramadan month. It was fasting. We were fasting at that. I wasn't fasting. My husband was the one fasting, so it was Ramadan month. It was the month of Ramadan. So they keep monitoring me from that morning until night. Still, the pressure was just going and going, and sometimes it will come down and then go up, come down. They keep putting all this medication to help it stable and all that. So my husband slept in the hospital with me, and in the morning, I was Tuesday morning. He was still there. He said, "Let me just go home and take care of the kids and make sure that they are okay, and then get them some breakfast things, like something that they can eat for breakfast." I said, "Okay, no problem, go." So he left me there in the morning and then went home to take care of the kids. He took care of the kids. He said, "Let me just lay down a little bit and sleep," because he didn't get enough sleep at the hospital. So he just fell on the bed to go to sleep. Then I called him because before he would go to, before after he left the house, no, after he left the hospital and went to the house, the nurse came. She was like, "Oh, we are going to that your pressure is going keep going up, so we have to induce you." I said, "Induce me? Why?" She said, "But you don't want to have a C-section. You want to have the baby natural, right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But the baby is not, well, what do you call it? Like, everything about the baby is not well mature like yet. So why do you want to induce me? Why do you want to take the baby?" I said, "Because we have to save you guys, you and the baby. So we will have to induce you to take the baby out." I said, "God help me." This woman, she keep inducing me and inducing me. Hey, I did not feel a pain, not even a single pain. How is my third child, they induced me. I felt so much pain that I felt like there's a knife under my abdomen. But with this one, they were inducing me. They keep putting this epitocin. Is it epitocin? I don't know if it is. Epitocin is like the one that, yeah. No, no, no. Epitocin is the one that will make the pain, better. They put this medicine. I don't know what is the name of that medicine. It's a tablet. They keep putting it, and I was just laying there. I did not feel nothing, nothing. Like my body was just numb. I didn't feel anything. She was like, "Ah, this is the third time I induce you. You still don't feel anything." I said, "Every time you put that tablet, I feel a burning sensation. That's all. I don't feel no pain." And she was like, "This is weird." And then when she was going, no, she put it twice. When she was going to the third one, a door opened like that. My door, the room that I was sleeping in, that door was like slumped like that. A doctor opened that door, and he was a high risk doctor. And he opened the door like that so fast. He said, "What are you doing?" And then she was like, "I'm trying to induce her." He said, "Just clean her up, get her ready to the emergency room right now. No, to the theater right now. We're gonna have emergency C-section." And she looked at me, she was like, "Why?" And he said, "Her heart rate is dropping. And the baby's heart rate is dropping." I was like, "God help me. God, please save my life, save my baby's life." I was just, praying. I don't want to hear anybody talking to me. So me watching that video, that I just watched about that lady, about those couples, brought that memory. It's not like I want to sit here and talk about whatever happened to me. It brought that memory back to me. And I feel like, I felt her pain. I know whatever she went through, even though she went to coma, she went through coma and all this. But losing a baby, it's very, 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 very sad. Like, and that was why I was crying. I cried because I remember when they told me we have to wheel you to the theater. I said, God help me, theater. Okay. So that was when I called my husband. Say, you have to run back, come back, hurry up before they take me. I don't want to go into a theater by myself. I need you here. Hurry up. And he said, what happened? I said, they said they're going to take me to a theater because my heart rate and the baby's heart rate were dropping. So they have to take both of us they have to take me to the theater and take him out, take the baby out so that I can survive too. So he said, okay. My husband rushed to the hospital and then he sat down. Before he came, they were still preparing me to the theater. And when he arrived, I was still laying in the room. I wasn't in the theater yet. And he looked at me and he was like, because we already knew we were going to have a baby boy. So he looked at me and he was like, what name do you want to name the baby? I said, listen to me and listen to me carefully. Are you listening? He said, what happened? I said, because I don't have any names of a baby boy in my head. And right now, that is not what I'm thinking about. I'm just praying to survive and my baby too should survive. And my husband was looking at me. He was like, all right. And he said, but when he was leaving the house, like I'm getting emotional. So sorry, guys. I didn't mean to cry, but this is very emotional. But I thank God. I thank God for our life. It was really scary. He said when I was leaving the house, I told the kids that mommy's gonna have a baby, and if they have any names for the baby, they can just tell us so that we can name the baby. And he said when he asked them, they said we should name him Ramadan. Sorry, guys. I remember that day when he said we should name him Ramadan. I said, Alhamdulillah. We didn't think about any name, but the kids gave us name because it was in the month of Ramadan when I had him. So we named him. Well, it was in the month of Ramadan. So when he told me that, I said, "Oh, that's a good name. That's a beautiful name." So they wheeled me to the theater. They did what they can do to keep us alive. Even when they were taking me to the theater, I was telling the nurse, I said, "Please." She said, "Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay." I said, "Please, I don't want to die. I need my kids." Sorry. Oh, I didn't know a day would come like this for me to sit here and tell a story about what I went through or how I had my 6 months old child. Okay. My 6 months old baby. Yeah. So I told the nurse, I said, please, I need to stay alive. I need to take care of my kids. I have three other kids back at home, waiting for me to come back home. So she said, okay. I said, not only me, I need my baby also to be alive. She said, don't worry, just relax. You're going to be fine. I've never taken anesthesia before. So she asked me if I had. I said, never. This is my first time. So she wheeled me and she carried me and put me on the bed. And then when they were going to put the medicine in my back, they were going to inject my back. She was like, don't move. She put a pillow in front of me. She was like, don't move. I'm going to hold you. Don't move because if you move, you're going to break the needle because it was very, very tiny. So I said, okay, I'm not moving. So I did not move. And then after she finished, I think they did like two, one top, one down. And then she asked me if I'm feeling anything when she touched my leg. I said, no, I don't feel anything. But I know that somebody's hand is on my leg. And she was like, you don't feel any pain when I pinch you? I said, no. And the guy that did it asked me to. The I don't know their name. I don't want to, kill their name. So when he touched me, he was like, he pinched me with something. He said, do you feel pain? Do you feel like somebody's pinching you? I said, no. He said, okay. So they put me on the bed. It's not a bed, it's like a bench, like so tiny. The bench was so tiny. Like I was so huge, very big. And they laid me on that bench. From the bed that I was laying on, they jumped me to that bench. And they moved me to that, but I may say jump. They moved me to that bench. And God, the two doctors two doctors came to the room. They were the one that operated on me, like did the C-section. And I know one of the doctor because she was my gynecologist. So when I saw her, I was like, thank God, because she's a very, very good doctor. I love her so much. Okay. So she was the one that did the C-section though. The other one was just helping with those little stuff that she really need. But she was the one that did everything. I was looking at her. I was awake when they were doing the C-section. I was wide awake. I had the oxygen mask on. And my husband was sitting right by me, by my head, yeah. And he had his forehead on top of my forehead. He was praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. I'm so sorry. This video today is just, I didn't meant to do this video today. This is not what I planned for today. He was just praying for me and praying for me and, and held my hand and he told me, you're going to be fine. You will be okay. And then when they took the baby out, he screamed a little bit and I looked at him and he was like, oh, here is a baby. Can you see a baby? He was so tiny. He was like, you can fit this palm. Okay, my palm is very tiny, so he can fit this palm. He was 1 pound 13 ounces. No, was it 3 ounces or 13? I think it was 3 ounces, and he was like 13 inches or so, or 18. It was very very tiny. So hi Lance, hello sweet pie. What is going on with you today? I'm telling you, I'm so sad today because I watched this video before coming here on YouTube. These two couples were saying this, they were telling a story about how they lost their child, and after losing their child, through birth, um, and yeah, that's why I'm crying because she was telling a story how she had miscarriage when she was 13 weeks, and then she lost her child when she was 23 weeks when she was going to have, after having the baby, The baby came out, and then the baby died a couple of days later, I think, or a day or 2 days later. And then after that, she also got sick and was taken to the ICU, intensive care, and then she was there for a couple of days and she was placed on life support. And I felt really sad because I was there before, even though thank God I wasn't on those, I wasn't in the ICU and stuff like that. I was in the hospital for a month, also fighting with my life. I was sick. I was really, really sick, and I had my child. I'm sorry. I had my last child at 24 weeks. So she had hers at 23 weeks. I had my child at 24 weeks. So I was just, that led me to say my story, not because I want to talk about I want to say my story here, but the memory just came back, you know, and then I started talking about it, about like started telling my story too. I was not like, I don't know, I was feeling for her, so even if she's watching me, she will know that she wasn't the only one that, was in this. It's there's a lot of women out there that has been there, that are still there, that's, are still fighting with their life. Honey bunch, please don't allow yourself to be silent by anyone or anything. Our creator giving and taking. Be thankful in all. I am thankful, I'm very, very thankful, Lance. You have no idea. Even before I started this story, I was thanking God, I was praising Him. I thank Him. And, I still thank Him every time I look at my son. Every time I look at my son, he's healthy, strong, and vibrant. He's the smartest boy ever. Alhamdulillah. Thank God for everything. I thank God. I really, really thank God for our life, you know. So I'm not saying that I'm sad. Sad. The sadness it comes and go, because sometimes we are only a human, and sometimes you look at things that you went through before. I know it has already passed, but some things will remind you of that past. And that video reminds me of that. That is why I was telling my story. It's not like I wanted to sit here and talk about it, because this has happened like 7 years ago. My son is now 7 years. So it's not like I want to sit here and talk about it now. It has already it's been a while. It's been a long, long journey. Okay. That is why I will have to have like a time to sit and make a short video about it. But I'm not sad. I'm just crying because I'm getting emotional. Because seeing my son for the first time, when I saw him, when I had him, after they took him out, I didn't see him for 3 days. For 3 days. And whenever my husband go to see him in the NICU, he will take a picture and bring it to me. And I'll be like, oh, he's so big, he's so cute. My husband will never say anything. He never tell me that, oh, he's tiny. He's really, really tiny. He's like a mouse. So, and I'll be looking at my husband. I'm like, yeah, he's so big. Wow, he's big. Because the picture is showing it like he's big. And I was so happy. I didn't know that until they wheeled. No, I walked there. I'm not supposed to go to the NICU, but I did. The nurses were thinking that I'm just taking a walk around that wall. I did. I walked from my room to the NICU, and it was a little bit distance, and I'm not supposed to. But I was just being hard headed, just trying to see my child. So I went there to the NICU, and they allowed me to enter. And the first day that I saw him, I fainted at the NICU. The first day I saw my son, I fainted. So it wasn't that I was sad. I'm not sad. It's just I'm a very emotional person. So I was just getting emotional because it has been a long journey. Okay, it has been a long journey, and I still thank God. I like the way. I don't know. I thank God so much. I thank God, and I will always thank Him. I will always thank Him. It's not an easy journey. It wasn't an easy journey. So me watching that video brought that memory back. It's not like I said all the time. I was repeating. I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry, guys. I'm repeating myself. It's not like I wanted to sit here and talk about it. I'm so sorry, guys, that I sat here and I spoke about it, and I have to I have to cry. I'm a very emotional person. Okay, we Gemini, we cry every little thing. We cry. So I started crying, and I don't know. The story is gonna be like a long story. I don't want to. Lance said I should just not talk about it, so I won't talk about it again. I will just stop it here. Okay, Lance. I have listened to you. I won't talk about it because I don't want to be. You don't want me to be sad, and trust me, I'm not sad. I'm not. I'm fine. Okay, I understand your point of being an emotional person. Yes, I am. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very, very emotional person. You guys don't know what I just saw. That's why I'm going back. I'm a very, very emotional person. Like, I can just see an old person, you know, and then I'll start bust out in tears. That is me. So that's why I don't want to be a nurse, and I can't be a nurse. I don't. I don't want to be a nurse. I loved to be a nurse when I was a little girl until I grew up and realized that I'm a very emotional person, and I cannot be around people that will make me cry. Like seeing sick people or old people, or somebody who is struggling in life will also make me cry. So I don't want to be around people like that. And like I said, well, let me see. We are emotionally attached to something because we have been through a great deal. See, that is me. So it happens. It happens, Lance. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so, so sorry that I have to cry in this video. And it's not like I did it intentionally. And like I said, I'm a very emotional person. Sometimes you just turn on your camera and not thinking that when you start talking, it will lead you to this. Or when you start, videoing yourself, it will lead you to something else that you didn't even plan for. To stop apologizing. Okay. Okay, I will stop apologizing. So yeah, that is what happened. And so, and I have two emotional children in my house. My two girls, because I have two girls, two boys. My two girls are so emotional too. Even though the oldest one too, she's also Gemini. I have three. It's three Geminis in my house. Me, my oldest daughter, and then my son that I'm talking about, the 7 years old. He's also Gemini. So we are very emotional, very, very emotional. My other daughter, my younger daughter, she's not Gemini, but she's a very emotional person too. She's a very emotional person. So it happens. It happens, you know. And that's life. Sometimes someone was saying to me the other day, the person was like, as long as you live in this world, you will see things that will hurt you, things that will make you sad, things that will bring joy, a lot of things that will come on your way as long as you live. Okay? So that's why they always said to where there's when there's life, there's hope. Okay? So we should keep hoping and keep hoping until God answers our prayers. So I'm okay. I'm fine now. If we are not into supporting one another, then let's not waste our time and peace. Your kids obtain your energy from you. That's true. That's true, Lance. I agree. I agree, Lance. My kids are my joy. You don't know. When I'm around them, especially when I see all four of them sitting down in the living room watching TV, playing, because you see them playing and it brings me joy because that's how me and my brothers are. We play, like we joke. And sometimes my kids will be wondering, what is going on? What is wrong with us? We'll be playing, and I'm the only female among them. And it's three of them, three boys. I'm older than two, and one is older than me. Of course, I know that your kids is your everything. Ha! They are, Lance. They are. Yeah, me and my brothers are very, very close. We look out for each other. We try to make sure that we are okay. If somebody needs something, we help each other. So that's what I want my kids to grow up to become, like us, like grow up to be able to help each other. So when I'm in the bedroom and I come back to the living room and I see them sitting in the living room playing, my oldest daughter, she's 21, but when she's playing with her young ones, she's so amazing. She took care of all of them. She's like a young mother to them. So she's just, I don't know how to put it, but she's always there for them. Always there. You know, take good care of them. Make sure if they need something and I'm not home, she will do it. Daddy's not home, she will do it. You know, she. So whenever I see them sitting down together, watching TV together, playing and having a conversation, sharing ideas, it makes me happy. It makes me happy because that is what I want for my kids. I want them to be close, very close to each other, protect each other, guide each other, like make sure you have each other, you know? Make sure you have each other because the reality is it takes a village to raise a child. So let's not forget our roots. That's true. That's true, Lance. It's not easy, Lance. It's not. That's what they said too. They say when the baby is in your stomach, it's the baby is for you alone. When the baby comes out, the baby belongs to everybody. It belongs to everybody. That is what you just said, that it takes a village to raise a child. But when the baby is in your tummy, it's just for you alone to raise that baby. As the moment that the baby will come out, everybody will come there and be taking care of the baby for you. Because the moment you have the baby, people will be coming to the hospital visiting. When you come home, people will be still coming to the house visiting, and they will be holding the baby for you. Go and take a shower. When the baby start crawling, you will leave the baby, or the baby start walking, you will still leave the baby to your neighbor. I'm going to the supermarket. I'm going to this place, so you take care of my baby. I'm coming. So you see, that is what you just said. Because I know that is what we do back home in Africa. But here in America, you can't leave your child to anybody. You can't leave your child with anybody to tell the person, oh, I'm going to the supermarket. Can you watch my child for me? No, they don't do that here. You will carry your child. Whether it's cold, hot, they don't care. Carry your child. Even if you don't have a car, you still carry your child. Go and do your shopping and carry your child and come back with your food shopping, your food stuff. So not in the States, not in the States or in abroad, but in Africa, yes. It takes a village to raise a child, but not in America or in any country, like outside country, like abroad. Because you cannot leave your child to anybody. You don't trust anybody. Unless maybe you have a babysitter like that you really trust and say, okay, this babysitter can take care of my child and I'm paying that babysitter. That one, you can go leave your child to the babysitter and say, okay, today I have a lot to do. So here, take my baby and I'm going to pay you. After I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I'll come and pick up my child. That's one, yes. but not in Europe, in abroad. I love the sun. Is it sun kissed? I love it. It's so beautiful. Like, look at the glow that the sun is giving my face. Look at this. So, guys, I really, really apologize. Lance said I should stop apologizing, but I'm gonna apologize one last time, and I will not apologize again. Of course, well, the child is within your tummy. Yeah, Lance said stop apologizing, but I want to apologize one last time so that you guys, when you rewatch the video, you will know that I wasn't crying because I want to cry. I'm a very emotional person, and yeah, I'm a very emotional person, and it's normal. It's okay to cry sometimes. Okay, it's not like you want to cry, but sometimes it's okay to cry. Let me put my phone here. Sometimes it's okay to cry. It's not like you want to cry. Okay. Oh boy. So yeah, I've been here for a long time, and I would like to go off now. Guys, I would love to go off. I'm just tired. I've been here, and today there's not many people online, which is fine, which is okay because you don't get it all the time. And I'll try my possible time. I know my kids have an appointment today later in the afternoon. The three of them, the three younger ones, yeah, not the older one. She's gone. She went to work. So the three younger ones, yeah, they have an appointment, doctor's appointment, because it's time to go back to school. So they need to go for their physical. So I'm gonna take them today later in the afternoon. I don't know. I feel like there's something in my mouth. I will take them. Well, my husband and I will take them because it's three of them and they need the parents in their room. So, so I'm gonna take them later in the afternoon, and it's 10:39 here. Yeah, it's 10:39 a.m. So after maybe we come back from the house from the doctor's appointment, I might or not. I don't know. I don't want to promise you guys because I keep promising that I might come on live later this afternoon. Well, later in the afternoon, and I don't come because sometimes I say it, and then when I go home, my strength will not allow me to come back on live. And or maybe when I'm going to cook, the heat alone in my kitchen like will not even allow me to vlog, especially when I'm cooking a lot. Like the other day I cooked like 5 dishes of I made 5 dishes of meal. Is it meal or food? Yep. So I wanted to go on live that day, but when I look at myself I was like, if I go on live I'm not going to be able to finish this food in before night for my kids to eat. So I was like, no, let me just come off and just do it the way I can do it and finish it so that they can eat before it's late. So yeah, that's what I did, and I achieved my goal that day. Thank God. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready and go off now. I don't know, I'm getting sleepy all of a sudden. I think I didn't get enough sleep last night too. So I'm gonna go home, get some breakfast and see what I can do next. Oh God. Thank you. I'm so sorry guys. So sorry. If you ever watch or if you ever rewatch this video and you see me crying, I'm not crying because I wanted to cry. I'm not crying because I'm I'm sharing my story. No, I'm a very emotional person. I'm sharing my story because I want other people that are going through the same thing or that went through the same thing should know that they are not alone. You know, they are not alone. No, so I'm just doing it to support other women that went through, to let them understand that, there's God. God is the one that gave it to us, and He's the one that will take it back when He feel like it. And He takes it not because He hates you. And when He keep the baby, it's not because He hates you or He loves you. Okay? He took the baby not because He hated you, and then he gave other women their babies back, not because He loved them than you, but because He has His own reason, and He knows why, and He is the only one that knows why. Okay, He's the only one that knows the reason why He took that baby away from you. There could be a lot of reasons that even if the baby stays and leave, maybe it's not going to be easy for you. Maybe your life will never be the same. You want that baby, but God loved that baby better than you want that baby. And God knows why He took that baby. He gave it to you. He decided to give you that baby, and He decided to take that baby away from you. Okay? So you just have to take heart. If you're here listening to me, I didn't even look at the name. I think it's something OT. Um, man, I didn't. She's Nigerian. Well, the couples are Nigerians, but I think they based in Europe or something, somewhere like that. They are not based in Nigeria, but they are Nigerians. So just take heart, okay, and keep hope in life. Take heart and keep hope. Okay, where there's life, there's hope. Never give up. Never give up in life. Never give up. If you have faith, you have hope. Never give up in life. Okay? So, all right, guys. That's my words or my motivation for today. Is it a word for today? Yeah, that's it. I don't really do this. I don't do this when I'm on live. I don't really do this. But yeah, today I don't know what came into my head that I started, because I was walking, I was just doing my thing. And all of a sudden I just started, I remember the video, and I was just telling a story about her video, or the video that I watched, and all of a sudden it leads me to mine. And like Lance said, sometimes, you know, something in reality, you meet something that will remind you of something that you already gone through. And if not because you've gone through so you are sad, no, because of you are a very emotional person, that will put you in tears, to make you cry. And the crying is not like a bad crying. It's a good crying. I'm crying because I'm happy that I'm alive and my son is alive today. That's why I'm crying. Not because I'm crying because I'm sad. Okay? So if you lose your child or you lose your baby, it's okay to cry. And it's okay to cry. But remember, God has better things ahead for you. One day, you will carry your own child. You will carry your own child one day, and you will be that's not you'll be crying. And it's not that you are crying because you are sad. You are crying because you are happy. You understand? So that is what I had. That is what happened when I was telling my story. That was what happened when I was telling my story earlier. Okay? It wasn't because I was sad. Not because I was sad. I was saying I was sad seeing her went through like that. But I wasn't sad because I was telling my story. I was just emotional, that's all. Okay? I was just emotional. I was thanking God for keeping me alive today, that I'm sitting here and telling my story. I thank God for that. I know my English is not good, it's not strong, it's just weak. It's weak, which is okay. I'm good. I'm okay with that. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand. All right, guys. I'll just have to leave you guys here. I'll end up here, and I thank you guys so much. Whoever came on here and thumbs up, thank you guys so much for coming up, and thank you guys so much for thumbing up too. Oh, thank you guys so much for showing up, and thank you guys so much for thumbing up. I really appreciate you guys. I love you, but God loves you more. Jumma Mubarak to all my Muslim family around the globe. Bye.